For concept number 4, we have just as two fractions can be added to create one fraction, a single fraction can be broken up into a sum. That means we're going to break it into two fractions with addition. In this case, we're going to be splitting up fractions into the sum of a whole number and a fraction. So when we do this, I'm just going to pause this for a second, write the steps down. I'm going to try to. So for these, we're going to split each problem into two fractions. And we need to make it so one simplifies to a whole number, which is totally easier said than done. For part A, we have x squared plus 3 over x squared plus 2. So we have to split this into two fractions. So I'm just going to make two fractions here. And we know when we're adding, our denominators have to match. X squared plus 2. So to turn, I always turn the first fraction, okay, this guy right here. To turn this into a whole number, I'm going to make both the top and the bottom match. The numerator and denominator are the same. And that way, this factor and this factor, they can cross off, okay? So let me erase my other stuff. So now I want to focus on this numerator. We have x squared plus 2. And our original numerator was x squared plus 3. So you have to look at what's missing. The x squared already taken care of. That's fine. We have a 3 here, but we only have a 2. So that means we have to put a 1 there. 2 plus 1 is 3. So now to simplify this fraction right here, x squared plus 2 over x squared plus 2, that cancels. So you end up with 1 plus 1 over x squared plus 2. Yeesh. Okay, let's do the next one. Our denominator is x to the third plus 5. If you think in polynomial long division vocabulary, this is our divisor, what we're dividing by, x to the third plus 5. So I'm going to turn my first fraction into a whole number. So I do x to the third plus 5, right? So they can both cancel out. Now look at what our original numerator was, x to the third minus 6, and I have x to the third plus 5. So 5 plus what gives you negative 6? And the answer is negative 11. So we cancel out our first fraction. Those factors match. So you end up with 1 plus negative 11 over one somewhat interesting fact. I mentioned it's like long division. If we did polynomial long division on this problem, we would have ended up with 1 plus a remainder of negative 11. It's kind of cool how math all goes together, kind of. So for C, we have our denominator, oops, wrong denominator. Clear out everything, fresh start. X squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, and here's our other denominator, x squared plus 3x plus 1. So now I'm going to make my numerator match for my first fraction, x squared plus 3x plus 1. Now I'm going to compare this and this. Whatever's left over goes in the other fraction. So my x squareds are good. I have a 3x and a 6x. Well, I need to put another 3x there. I have a 1 plus what gives you 8? So that's going to be a 3x plus 7. So here's a factor, they cancel. So you have 1 plus 3x plus 7 all over x squared plus 3x plus 1. Last row. So for letter D, we're going to make our denominators match. 3x to the third plus 5x is one denominator, other one, 3x to the third plus 5x. So this problem's a little bit different. If you look at the lead coefficients of the denominator and the numerator, you can see that the 6 is double that of the 3. So what I'm going to do is make this first fraction simplify to be a 2 instead of a 1. Let me erase my scribbles. So I'm going to, instead of 3x to the third, I'm going to make it a 6x to the third. Instead of a 5x on the top, I'm going to make it a 10x. And now I'm going to, look, that's spoken for. I have a 10x. I need to get to 11x, so I have 1. And I have no constant, so that plus 3 comes down. A little more room. So what happens is, when these cross off, you're left with a 2. So that's 2 plus x plus 3 all over 3x to the third plus 5x. Now I'm going to pause this, try letter E and F, and then come back and check your work. So check your answers to letter E and F. So for E, I simplified the first fraction, so it became a 2. And then my remainder, my leftover, is x over x to the third plus, x squared plus 3x. For letter F, I split the denominator into an x and an x. So I made the first fraction cancel out to be a 1. And then what is hidden behind this here is a 5 over x. As always, please let us know if you have any questions.